As you can see behind me, the Great North Run sign is up, which can mean only one thing. It is just a couple of weeks until the famous run which takes 60,000 runners from Townmoor all the way to South Shields. If you're doing it, you might be looking for some last minute advice. Well, that is where I'm here to help. I've got 10 tips and hints up my sleeve to give you to get the most out of your Great North Run experience, because it's such a fantastic event, you wouldn't want to miss anything. I'm not doing it this year, sadly, didn't get a place, but I've done it the last 2 years, so I think that gives me a little bit of qualification to give you some advice. So let's get straight in with tip number 1. Okay, so these Great North Run tips are split into two halves. The first one is all about the race, the actual running itself, and the second half is how to enjoy yourself and get the most out of the event. Let's dive straight in with what I think is one of the most important tips. Number 1, that is to go off effort or heart rate and not pace. If you look at the elevation graph of the Great North Run, it is hardly ever flat. It's either going up or down. It's actually a net downhill course because you start in the city and you end right on the seafront, but you can see by this, like, it's up and down all the time. There are hardly any bits where you're actually going flat. There are no really huge hills as such, but it's always changing. So if you can dial in your effort or use your heart rate to gauge the effort you're putting in, I think you're probably going to run it a lot more efficiently than if you're trying to even split it, because you're constantly going to have to be doing little adjustments for whether you're going uphill or downhill. Number 2, don't go off too fast. The first 5k is almost totally downhill. The atmosphere is insane, you're going to be absolutely buzzing, but you're going to pay for that later. You get to the Tyne Bridge, 2 miles, all downhill, feeling brilliant, 3 miles, great. That's when the hills start and it starts to get a bit less flat. The crowds die down just a little bit and you're going to start paying for the fact that you've just run a 5k PB right at the start of a half marathon. It's very easy to do, just judge your pace a little bit, take a step back, make sure you start off nice and easy. Number 3, I'd say don't worry about taking water. Obviously if you want to, like, wear a hydration vest, carry a soft flask or whatever, then do it, it's fine, but there is so much water out there on the course. I think it's every 2 miles at least that there are water stations with little bottles, and you can take them. They're about 250 mils each, so with the regularity of those, you shouldn't be needing to drink more than that really anyway, even if it is a hot day. It's very important to get water in, especially if you're running over 2 hours, something like that. But I would say you don't actually need to carry water with you. It's just going to be a bit of extra weight, a bit of extra faff, and something you don't really want to have to worry about on race day. I would say though it's more valuable to carry gels. If you're going to carry anything, carry a couple of gels. They'll give you a bit of boost and you can use the water on the course. That's what I'd recommend rather than using up all your space with water. A couple of gels, if you've used them before in training, that is, don't want any stomach issues on the day. It's not like the London Marathon or anything where it has Lucozade, it's just water and a bit of beer as well. Number 4 is pretty valuable. The finish straight, listen, the finish straight is a mile long. I made this mistake last year. You drop right down, you've climbed all the way up through South Shields and then you drop right down to the coast and you think, boom, I'm here. The party's there, the crowd is going mental, and you think, nice, I'm gonna start my sprint now. Oh no. You've still got a whole mile and a bit to go. You hit 12 miles just as you come off the bottom of that hill. You've still got 1.1 miles to go. That's a very long way at the end of a half marathon. So I definitely recommend just making sure you don't start your sprint too early. From like a kilometre to go, there's kilometre, 800, 400, 200 signs. You can judge when to kind of kick if you're feeling good. Just make sure you're aware that the finish straight starts a little bit later than you think it does. And number 5 for the actual race logistics, tactics, and that is manually lap your watch. You may have heard this if you've done any big half marathon events before. You may have done this yourself. There are mile markers every mile along the course. There might even be kilometres, not quite sure. Your GPS is going to be a little bit off because there are so many people around. You won't be taking the shortest line of the course. So what your watch thinks might be a half marathon probably won't be. You'll probably end up running a little bit more. So if you've got a specific time in mind, a specific pace, lap your watch manually at each mile or kilometre marker, then you're going to be getting accurate splits and you'll know whether you're on for that PB or not. It'll just save you a bit of disappointment if you get to the end and realise actually you've been running a little bit slow all this time. Okay, now on some tips for your enjoyment, getting the most out of the day. Well, first of all, I'd say maybe don't go for that PB. I know it's an exciting event, you want to run as fast as you can, but the past 2 years I've run it just as my long run basically, not gone for a PB, and it's been really enjoyable. As I said, it's not the particularly flat course for a start, it's quite hilly, there are lots of people there. It may not be your day to go for a PB. You might enjoy it a lot more if you just say, you know what, I'm just going to do this as a long run, pick a fast, boring, flat half marathon in the autumn to get my PB on it. Obviously, not going to stop you, go for it, get the time that you want, but I think it's also a lovely one just to go for a long run, enjoy it, run it with some friends, not have to think about the time, just enjoy and take it all in. So maybe if you don't think you're quite ready for a PB, maybe just say, I'm going to long run this, not go for a PB. Make sure you get to the start line in plenty of time. This comes under the enjoyment factor because I promise you're going to have a way better day if you've got a lot of time at the start. Yes, there's usually quite a lot of waiting around on the start line, but if you get there a little bit late and you're rushing to drop your bag off, go to the toilet, all while thousands of people are around you trying to do exactly the same, you're going to have quite a stressful start to the run, and you want to be as relaxed as possible for when you go and cross that finish line. Make sure you leave plenty of time. They have in like the little PDF that you get before the race, they have times that they think you should arrive and what times you should put your bags in depending on what your wave is. Just make sure you leave yourself that extra little 5 minutes, because you never know what transport to the start will be like, you never know how you're going to find all the buses, they kind of move every year, and that you want to get a good spot on the start line to start your run. So make sure you just give yourself a little bit more breathing time. Tip number 8. Prep for the weather. Make sure you're on BBC Weather, Apple Weather, Met Office, whatever, checking what the weather's going to be like, because it's the start of September, it can pretty much be anything. 2023, it was boiling hot, and then within an hour of me finishing, biblical rain, everyone got soaked, absolutely frozen. Last year it was gently raining all the way through, but surprisingly warm. You want to make sure that you're wearing the right clothing for the race. You want to make sure you've got the right clothing for after the race as well. In September, the classic thing is it's really hot while you're doing the race, and then as soon as you stop, it's by the coast, it's not quite as warm as in the centre, you get really cold, and then you have an unenjoyable trip home. So I'd really make sure you look at the weather. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be sunny? Is it going to be windy and cold near the coast? There's a chance you're going to be standing on the start line for quite a long time, and I know in 2023 a lot of people got very burnt standing in the sun at the start line. So just make sure that you're prepared for every weather eventuality. This is quite a big one. Number 9, I'd say don't run with any music. I know music can be such a staple for some people, music or podcasts or anything in their headphones for motivating them, getting them through that run. But I promise you, the crowds are so crazy in the Great North Run, and there's so many music stations along the route. I think you're going to be equally spurred on just by listening to the things around you, the crowds and the music. You're going to be more engaged, that's going to take your mind off how much your legs are hurting. If you've got like Shox headphones, the ones that are bone conducting rather than actually in your ears, so just maybe leave the headphones at home, take in all of the support the Northeast has to offer. I think you're going to be very interested by it, you're not going to get bored, it might take your mind off how your legs are feeling. Just leave the headphones at home for this one run. And finally, this is a little bit of an insider knowledge one. Don't hang around the finish for too long. You get there, you think, oh, I've just spent all that effort getting here, there's loads to do, there's loads of food, your charity tents, everything like that. I want to stay here for ages. But I don't always think that's the best option. Yeah, maybe get yourself some food, get yourself some merch, go to your charity tent if you've run for charity. But if you're wanting a pint, I'd recommend just get back into town or to wherever you're staying, get your pint there, because the travel back can be a little bit tricky. There are queues for the metro a lot of the time, queues for buses, things like that. If you finish, especially if you finish early, just get back into town, start your celebrations there, get yourself a shower and start in town, because The finish line is great, but getting back from it can be a bit of a nightmare. I'd say get that over and done with as soon as possible, especially if there is ridiculous rain like there was in 2023. You do not want to be stranded in South Shields. So there we go. I hope you have enjoyed this tips and tricks video, and I hope you found it a little bit useful. Obviously the main thing is just enjoy it. It's such a good event, only happens once a year, and you're very lucky if you're able to run it. So just have fun, relax, and get to South Shields. If you've got any spectating tips, put them down in the comments below, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And if you want to see my video of the last 2 years, 2023 and 2024, I'll link them below and check out what it's like to actually run it. Good luck, have fun, enjoy the Great North Run, and I will see you in the next one.